After 22 weeks of relentlessly pursuing my dreams of Radiant both in-game as well as in real life, the compounding results of our efforts are truly starting to show themselves. Now, I wish I could say it was all uphill, but unfortunately this week I bite the hand that feeds me and I make a change that absolutely shatters our momentum. If it is your first time checking out the Zasko.2 channel, I upload a video every single week documenting my journey to mental, physical, financial, and emotional mastery, all of which we benchmark on the battlefield of Valorant. This week we face many brand new challenges, and despite some of them pushing us to our absolute limit, they all contribute to our progress in becoming an extraordinary man.
Are you kidding me? Zasko.
How far will we progress this week? I don't know, guys. You're gonna have to find out. Get my... This week is no ordinary week. I've got absolutely no work to attend to because I've taken 5 days of annual leave. However, just like every other week, I take my lion's mane and I hop into a call with Dopai.
We're playing with like so little confidence this game. It's actually insane.
Our weekly coaching session is going to be looking at Haven, which is our weakest map. We lack confidence and we don't have a playbook to play. But luckily, we have Master Dopai's radiant wisdom to guide us to victory. Our first lesson being on playing fast rotate and how to properly play the B side.
I think it's worth the risk to just get that fight grass and then you can kind of fall back and look out window like this. And then while we're here, I just want to quickly go through my favorite ways to play top B. You could go into this corner and then you can play hidden from window. My personal favorite way to play top B is actually on this side, and then I'll just late peek window. So another thing you could do that's a little bit more aggro is actually just barriers here, round start. You actually just go here and you hold the window swing. The beauty of Jet playing this spot is you can actually get the kill and then you're pretty safe to fall back.
With plenty of new spots to try, the next thing that we look at is my dash usage, or lack of.
Personal preference, as soon as this neon slides and I know I'm going to continue fighting, I activate dash. Like on this frame after my first shot, dash is now activated. And you did not activate dash a single time this round. Like you can hear them as you take the fight. Your dash should be active. You get this kill, you should be gone. Activate dash. No dash. And you're kind of just wide swinging. Like this peak is I mean, if you're going to swing that anyways, like I said, dash active and then you can go for it and then get away. Fight the long guy. No dash. That's not good. No dash. No dash. Are you kidding me? Zasko. There's not even a smoke.
Moving on to the attack side, we discover an even bigger problem. One that stems from a massive misunderstanding.
Activate dash, good. Okay. So I see my advice before to activate dash and take a duel is being taken very literally, and I appreciate that you trust me. Maybe we can clarify a little bit more. This activate dash and not dashing in is best utilized when you have initiator util to help give info. Because here we don't have the info. So it might make sense for us to dash across for your neon to get the info on the arena here. Probably are going to be dashing out 80% of the time, and you're going to be activating dash looking for a duel about 20% of the time. I'm honestly surprised you've been climbing with that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Also, this guy shot at you and you reswung without dash.
Takeaways from this week were when to dash, how to play B, and Dopai also shared his favorite entry pathing, which will help a lot. And finally, when we're on attack and we don't know what to do, we should just simply look for that mid-fight and just work B. I'm going to link Dopai's channel in the description. The full VOD of our coaching session will be posted on there. With absolutely no responsibilities besides grinding as hard as humanly possible, straight after our coaching session, it's straight to the gym. This week, we'll be swapping to a 6-day push-pull legs workout because we simply have the time and energy to do so. As of right now, each rep consists of 1 second of lifting and 3 seconds of eccentric movement. This is to increase our time under tension so that subsequently we improve our hypertrophy. This week for our bench press, we ended up passing the 12 repetition threshold on what was last week's personal best. I upped the weight by 2.5 kilos and suddenly we're hitting a new personal best already. From there, we work our lower chest with, I think they're crossovers. That third set is meant to be 15 kilos. I didn't do 20 for 14 reps. I know that for a fact. But anyways, from there, I smash out 3 sets of my middle chest, my pec deck. I forgot to charge my phone, so it ended up dying, and I decided, you know what, I'll just go home and continue my workout from there, where I only ended up doing lateral shoulders, so there was still a lot missing from this workout, but Whatever, that's how we started our week. I eat the same thing at the same time every single day. Canned fish, beef liver, beef mince, butter, and thickened cream. Over the last 22 weeks of experimentation, this is the diet that we've settled on for now. Now, after my gym session, I eat some food and do some planning. I'm gonna double the games we play, increase the time I edit, and try and do as much meditation this week as possible. So with that in mind, I get stuck into 30 minutes of meditation, preparing my mind for the Valorant grind to come. One thing I'll quickly mention is that I do the same warm-up before every single Valorant session. This consists of our mental warm-up, training our eyes, training our focus, training our acquisition, then into our physical warm-up, and then lastly our mechanical warm-up, which consists of the ramp warm-up, shooting some targets in the range, and then lastly finishing off with a deathmatch. So to save you guys watching the same footage on repeat, if I say I've warmed up, this is exactly what I've done. This is where we left off, 32 RR. Nice. Now, like I do every week, I took a couple days off of Valorant just to edit my last video, so we've got to warm back up, of course. Luckily, we're doing so on one of our favorite maps, Abyss.
One crossed. You flash? Take it.
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea how we won this game, but hey, a win is a win.
You guys can push. I got ult.
Yeah, let's do it. Now for the second game of the week, we actually do start to get our mechanics nice and warm, hitting headshots, and our movement was back to normal. And with that comes our usual overheating problem.
Check it out.
Yeah, take one more. Just for yellow?
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. To say we deserve the win would be a lie, and we get what we deserve. The next game we queue into, we get Lotus. Dopai has helped us discover a playbook for this map, and on defense is literally just playing fast rotate from stairs. Once we shifted to this playstyle, it was an absolute game changer. However, this game we just couldn't pull it off to a high enough level. The shots that we were hitting were nice, and once again our mechanics were starting to warm up. However, the overall performance still just wasn't there yet. Not enough to get a win at least. Game just finished and I actually predicted it pretty well. So food, and then I don't think we've VOD review because we're just not feeling it yet. We're not feeling it yet, so we're not even applying the new things we've learned. Yeah, this was definitely a mistake because once I took it out of my calendar, I completely forgot about it, like for the rest of the week. I'm editing now, like, oh yeah, I was meant to VOD review. And for a week like this where I've taken time off of work to grind, VOD reviewing is 100% something I should be doing. Regardless, I stretch my hands and fingers, exercise my triceps because I forgot to earlier, and then have my lion's mane, alpha GPC, creatine, and iodine drops. Now, after taking a break for a while to just chat to my partner, eat some food, and just relax a bit, it's time for our second competitive block. And of course we get Haven, the map that normally I don't play amazing on. However, we've got a whole new perspective to look at it through. Now that we've got permission to dash out on site, it actually feels like a bit of a fresh air. I felt like I was trying to force the dash to dual playstyle in situations where it didn't make sense because I just didn't know why I was doing it. However, now I know exactly why and I know exactly when to do so. Let's do some mid plays here. Now that Dopai has given us a fresh perspective on the B site, especially on attack as well, I was actually having heaps of fun just trying to fight the mid push and trying to work our way up and scale site, as it actually feels a lot easier than just a massive execute. However, our massive executes were a lot easier just because we're finally able to check the minimap while we're pushing out onto site. In theme with our dash entries, I did try Dopai's safe dash under plat, and man, I gotta say, this Radiant Wisdom, alright, this is... we need more.
Yo, there's a flash ready there.
Anyways, a 9-3 half later, we're on defense playing fast rotate. However, we're not just playing B site and rotating, we're taking that mid space. Controlling mid from all angles allowed us to flank and just punish the enemy team so hard.
Window. Gecko window.
Oh, that's the wrong way. Haven match MVP. This has to be the best marketing for Dopai's coaching. I'm gonna follow the dog out, Scott. This here is a time where I shouldn't dash out. Instead, here I've got the Skydog for information as well as using it as bait.
Can we TP, guys?
Now, considering that we've already played 3 games and taken a break, being on our second Valorant session, we are so warmed up now. As per the playbook that we play on Bind, we abuse the power positions on attack, and then abuse fast rotate on defense. It's funny that Bind was one of our lowest win rate maps a couple weeks ago, and Dopai specifically wanted to work on that one. Look at us now. Look at us now.
Relapse.
Now for our final game of the day, there's no better way to describe this than just a typical OCE game. It was basically deathmatch. Our team just wanted to push everything and just fight anyone and everything that we saw. And hey, I'm cool with that.
Nice. Just about.
I'm holding. Yeah. Oh yeah, go for more.
Our third consecutive match MVP win. The only thing left is a celebratory barbecue and just getting out in nature and getting some sun. Now we still do have a few hours left in the day, so once I head back inside, it's straight to aim training. I've decided to stay away from routines as I feel like they make me aim mindlessly. Instead, I just pick a scenario on the area I want to work on, and then I full focus my technique. In order to multiply the value of that aim training session, I follow it up with meditation. This is our second session for the day, totaling 60 minutes. Check this out. Yeah, I went way past cutoff time editing.
Do we like the waves or not? I don't know. That's a perfect amount of waves.
Anyways, Wednesday's progression was nothing short of beautiful. We smashed out 2 hours of Valorant coaching, 4 exercises at the gym, 1 hour of meditation, 6 competitive games, and 30 minutes of aim training. However, unfortunately, our poor sleeping habits led to a 75% sleep performance, where we fell asleep an hour after the time we set. We accrued an additional 1 hour of sleep debt and ended up waking up with a 33% recovery score. This is bad, we're in the red. Code red. Now we wake up to another morning, and every morning is a beautiful morning. We've got a fresh start here, alright? I give the first hour and 15 minutes to editing, and then I head over to the gym for our pull day. I did get absolutely roasted for having an arched back, so that is the first thing that is sorted. Look at how anti-arch this thing is. Now my pull day consists of back and arms, and I decided to do all my back exercises at the gym, and then go home, do all my Valorant, do all my gaming, do all my aim training, and then do my arms afterwards so that they're not fatigued while we're trying to play. The exercises that I do is our bent over rows, our lat pull downs, and then lastly our rear delts with face pulls, all of which I do 3 sets to the absolute death failure. Our breakfast was eaten out by the dam, starting off our day with a bit of relaxing morning sunlight, and then getting stuck into some angle holding practice. This is a scenario I don't really see many people talk about, and I feel like it's actually pretty powerful. What I personally do is just 10 minutes on each side, and of course for the most optimal gains I make sure that I'm doing it in silence and that I'm completely focused on my technique. After 20 minutes of holding angles, it's on to reactivity. This is another one that I absolutely love and one that I definitely see benefits from. After doing it for 10 minutes, we multiply our learnings by doing a 30-minute meditation session. After yesterday's meditation, today felt so easy. I felt super still and just super relaxed the entire time. I continue on from there with 10 minutes of focus training, then I do my physical warm-up, mechanical warm-up, and then hop into deathmatch preparing for our competitive session. Now, first competitive game of the day is on Sunset. Despite losing the pistol round, we do end up bringing it back with a shorty and a dream, and yeah, it foreshadows a good game moving forwards. Now, one thing I do want to make known is that I personally requested for this Omen Flash and One Way, the exact setup that Dopai showed himself using a couple of weeks ago. Moving on to the attack side, honestly, the mechanics really pulled through here. Not only was confidence absolutely surging, but without angle holding practice, I just felt like I hit that shot every time. Even though I don't, but you know. Another thing to mention is that because we had a breach instead of something like a sky, most rounds I was opting for the dash entry. I'm very grateful for Dopai allowing us to do this again. That was a joke. Anyways, our 4th consecutive MVP, another win. Things are going good. We're actually 2 games off of Immortal. A second game of the day, we get Haven, and I know exactly what you're thinking. There's no way you can lose on this map after how much valuable Radiant Wisdom Master Dopai gave us.
Maybe you're blind.
That's alright, doesn't matter, we've always got next game. Yeah, and unfortunately this game we actually got an AFK, as well as a 4-man no-comm game. Like there was no comms throughout this entire game. I'm so tilted. Now, normally I'm completely stoic when I play Valorant. Most times you won't even get a reaction from me acing or something. However, with sleep being pretty poor over the last couple days, it definitely takes a toll on your emotional control. Alright, I need a break from editing. Nature fixes everything, alright? This is the play. Except for these things. They like actually take the peace out of nature. Going for a walk is actually worse than playing a horror game. It's like Slender Man. The second you turn your back, you just get like stabbed in the back of the head. Like, dude, someone's got to stop these things, man. Anyways, I find a safe spot and I walk, okay? I walk for the sake of walking. I clear my mind of all the residue from editing and Valorant and all this messy, chaotic stuff, and I just reset. All right, we fully reset. However, just like yesterday, our second session back after a reset brings us into complete peak form. This is by far the best I have ever played mechanically. I've never felt more in control of my mouse and in control of my mind. Queuing into our first game, we end up getting put on a scent, and our debut round for the game, we end up dropping a 4K. Yeah, that peak mechanical performance that I said earlier, that's not gone anywhere. We're still smashing it. This game felt like it was just my arena to absolutely murder everyone. And hey, 30 kills later, and we get a match MVP win.
This is gonna be an annoying team comp to play. 2 wall characters.
Beat a bear in a fight.
Yeah, probably not. Now, I'd love to say that we were inching closer and closer to our rank up game, but we weren't. We were absolutely skyrocketing. This game, we absolutely destroyed the enemy team with a 9-round lead, finishing the game 12-13. One thing that I will pull myself up on in hindsight though is that I was definitely playing for the sake of playing. I wasn't trying to learn and I was just trying to win. With this in mind, as well as the fact that we're not VOD reviewing, this is definitely a quick way to build some bad habits. For example, pushing past the arena as we can see myself doing. Hey, but nevertheless, we win this game 13-3 as well, dropping 20 kills along the way. Now that we're done all our comp for the day, perfect time to start doing our arm exercises. Now, as frequent viewers of the channel would know, when we do our arms properly, not only do we do just our biceps, but we try and do as many muscles in the forearms as possible. The reason being is because we're an arm aimer. So what better way to passively improve our aim and control by increasing the strength and stability of the muscles that we're using while we aim. However, I definitely mistimed my Kovac session because my arms were on fire and I felt like I couldn't aim at all. But anyways, after my aim training, I spent about half an hour just smashing out as many stretches as I could. Most importantly, I went through all my hands and fingers to make sure that I stay away from any injuries. Now, Thursday's progression was very nice. We smash out 7 exercises at the gym, 30 minutes of angle hold / reactivity, we meditate for 30 minutes, play 6 competitive games, and do our regular 30 minutes of aim training. Now, throughout the day, we also did a vote on the Zasko.2 fund. The winning vote was to get a personal training session going. And just to keep things interesting, I chucked in a bonus vote as well. Just for some context, back in week 16, after spending an absurd amount of money on my PC, we started the Zasko.2 fund, a pool of money made from our Ko-Fi income, YouTube income, and my own personal contributions. The twist, however, is that the Ko-Fi supporters get to vote on where that money is spent. The Discord server is definitely becoming a really cool community and I'm just loving the direction that everything's going in, so if you do want to support the channel, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Waking up at 5 AM, having gotten a 76% sleep score, we've got another day of pretty poor recovery. But to compensate, I spend an hour in one of Dopai's group coaching sessions where he goes over some professional VODs. First of all, I realized that most professionals just jump and hover when they're aiming their jet knives, stabilizing their aim and making the shots much easier. The VODs we went over were on Abyss, and the first map-specific takeaway was that the dash updraft onto the middle box is still the best entry pathing. They have a cipher, you updraft first and then dash, and if you want to play it slow or it's smoked, you can updraft onto the box and then dash from it. I learned how to properly do the thing where you glide off the map with jet ult, as well as a new way to entry onto B site and also hold the site. Now for our gym split, next up is our leg day. We haven't done a proper leg day in a while, so this is gonna destroy us. Starting off with squats, I absolutely despise them at the moment, but the one thing I'm trying to work on is my stability as I squat and just making sure it's a fluid and not so shaky movement. Following the 12 repetition threshold, I work my way up to 5 kilos. I decide to take my runners off because they're super foamy and would absorb a lot of the force that I'm trying to exert. And suddenly squats actually weren't that bad anymore. I add an additional 2.5 kilos and suddenly we're doing a personal best squat. Next up is our calf raises, and then from there it's simply just leg extensions and leg curls, all of which I do 3 sets till failure before calling it there and making my way down to Melbourne. Today would be more of an IRL Radiant kind of day, as I spend the first half of the day doing some shopping with my partner and just having some fun. I decided to finally get myself some brand new shoes, ones that don't make me look like a bum, and then I head home in time to eat some lunch. Today I bought a brand new hoodie, the brand new shoes, a comfy top that I want to sleep in, and then some brand new utility pants. From there I get straight into meditation. The goal was originally 30 minutes, however I just couldn't pull through and I ended up stopping after like 17 minutes. From there we do our usual warm-up, preparing ourselves to play some Valorant, and then we take our Alpha GPC and Creatine, just to make sure that we're really feeling it. As we queue into this game, we are at 82 RR, so deep down I know that we are 100% hitting Immortal this session.
Do you mind dotting that, bro? Yeah. Now, definitely going to re-emphasize the fact that I was just playing to win here. So much so that I don't actually have much to talk about in these games. Hopefully next game is like Haven or something, and we have something to work on.
Yo. Wake up, Sova.
Wake up. Oh, it's Haven. Push. Now, before updrafting onto the box, this time not only do I smoke myself, but I also pop my dash. It seems that despite our poor sleep, we are actually downloading some information here. Smokes. Let's go. Come, push out long. Now, not only was I calling for smokes before pushing onto site, but I was G'ing up the team to push as one united force. Oh, let's push. You go this way and I'll go this way. Hey, rotate. Attack side came around fast, and now it's time to combine our mechanical improvements with our new Haven knowledge. After pulling off a successful flank, we just simply hold mid. And then of course, after destroying their mid push, it's straight back to applying pressure mid.
Can play.
And I've got to say, this is like cinema. There is no better game for us to finally hit Immortal. And now our first game in Immortal, we're put on Abyss and we've got a whole bunch of new things to try on this map. Starting off with our B execute. It didn't work. And I mean, we got to try out our brand new A entry, but the team ended up FFing after 5 rounds. Now our next game was on Bind, and we had a Neon that was just happy to run out onto site, so I ended up using him as bait a lot of the time and just popping dash looking for jewels. And besides just fragging out, we were sticking to our playbook as always. Backside. Playing our power positions the second we get onto B site and A site, and then swapping over to defense and playing our fast rotate positions. Unfortunately, after a 3 to 9 half and our defense going pretty rough, we end up in a 9 to 12 situation. The enemy is on triple match point, but I'm not willing to give up this game so easily.
One small hookah.
Long. I think he's going elbow.
Oh yeah, if you could hold long again for me, bro. I'm just gonna hold this.
One small now.
Our relentless efforts and undeterrable spirit led to a 30 kill MVP win. Okay, clearly Valorant is accelerating. I think it's time we make some changes. Voice over me is going to explain. There are 2 major sides that we're trying to balance at the moment. Our mental performance, as well as our physical performance. Now, on the carnivore diet, it absolutely maxes out mental performance. However, I've got a feeling that to a certain degree, it's limiting our physical performance. A theory that I want to experiment with is whether adding carbs will balance out our mental and physical performance. The next week coming, I'm back to work, and we're just going to run into the problem we've been having again. I do physical work, and I end up exhausted and unable to perform in any areas. I do a bit of shopping and decide on white rice pre-workout to get myself fueled for it, and then sweet potato post-workout to give me sustained energy for the day. I use our rice cooker to cook the rice and have it ready for me in the morning, and then I call it for the day. Friday's progression was actually pretty insane. We obviously smash out an hour of VOD reviewing, then head to the gym and do 4 exercises. Got about 5 to 6 hours of social time, 20 minutes of meditation, and then went 4-0 in our competitive games. Now, going to sleep that night, I definitely struggled and I didn't get a good one at all. I can easily say that I was just terrified that I was about to absolutely destroy everything I've worked for and that making this change was a horrible decision. Anyways, here goes everything. 4:40 we wake up and I've got 2 cups of rice on the rice cooker ready to go. I don't eat both of them. I just eat half and then glad wrap it and put the rest away. And for our pre-workout protein, I get some mackerel fish. And well, that officially rips me out of my ketosis. As scared as I was definitely excited to sort of see how the gym session goes and feel the difference. I wanted to feel the difference. And well, did I feel the difference? To be honest, not really. Not really. I was able to increase my repetitions, but it was by no more than I normally increase on a week-to-week basis anyways. This theme carried across every single exercise. Now, of course, we're doing a full chest day, so the next exercise is our standing crossovers. From there, I smash my middle chest with the pec deck machine, and then I finish with our upper chest flies. A couple hours later, our post-workout meal is the infamous chicken and sweet potato. I practice my angle holding while I let that food digest, and then I get straight into our warm-up. Now, within a couple hours of eating my carbs, I was feeling good. Maybe even better than normal. And this was actually really promising. Maybe I haven't destroyed everything. Maybe everything's okay. Queuing into our first game, we get Abyss, and there was nothing out of the ordinary. We play a decent performance, and put to work everything that we learnt from our professional VOD reviews. But there was definitely something missing. Or maybe maybe we gained something. A feeling of satiety, like the hunger to win, the hunger to overcome anything that stands in our way, the hunger to destroy and conquer. It just wasn't there. When it came to energy, clarity, and willpower across a day, the carnivore diet is just simply unmatched. However, despite having 3 meals so far, as the day continues, I just get worse and worse. And on top of that, I don't feel the drive or the hunger. I feel shrouded by a sense of lethargy. And the one thing going through my mind is why? Why is this sacrifice worth it? 3 hours of editing done. And I don't know how I feel right now. I feel tired and my brain just feels like a bit drained. This is something I never normally feel. Now, I wanted this to work so badly. The dream was to just balance out my life and see gains both in the gym as well as in Valorant and not have it be so one-sided. But when I'm queuing into my 4th game of the week where I should be playing at my absolute peak, a performance like this is just simply unacceptable and something I just do not want to continue moving forwards. I feel like a part of it was wanting to be accepted, finally being able to put an end to the never-ending judgment on the way that I like to eat. And by crumbling, I feel nothing but regret, to be honest. I feel like I've cheated myself. So Sunday morning, our final day of grind, I decided that I was going to make this the day that I wish every day was. I wake up and I don't eat any carbs. I go straight to the gym and I just train in my fasted state. The same state that I've done my gym sessions for the last 3 months. I come home and instead of warming up for competitive Valorant, I get straight into our angle holding drills. At the 20-minute mark, having a 65% accuracy. Let's just keep this number and try and beat it in future. From there, I find my lowest headshot percentage map, which is Abyss at 31.8. I watch an Abyss specific pre-aim guide, and then I simply spend 15 minutes practicing my crosshair placement. Bind came in at my 2nd lowest at 36%, so I just do the exact same thing. For the first time all week, I finally get my beef liver down, so I'm actually getting the nutrition I need. And then I hop into a deathmatch and do 30 minutes of the Miyagi method, not shooting anyone and just focusing on my movement. This actually did put a smile on my face. That's a win. That's a dub. My goal was to have my movement be so good that I just mentally crumble the enemy and they end up giving up. I take that. After doing 15 minutes of eye training, I finally get outside and do some cardio. Now, because we don't want to burn any calories, I just do high intensity training or sprint training. Why I couldn't take 1 game off of Valorant each day to get outside and do this, couldn't tell you. But if today's the ideal day, then there's no excuse. Our final Valorant session of the week, being my first day trying to get back into ketosis, trying to get back into the old way of things. The results were just really confusing. I felt like I had that hunger and I really wanted to be my best self. However, the brain fog really didn't feel like it had been lifted. My first game was a loss, demoting us back to Ascendant 3. Our second game, our mechanics were able to carry us through and bring us to victory. However, we were just shy of getting our Immortal back by a couple RR. Now, queuing into my 3rd game for the session, I was actually starting to see glimmers of the old us. The version of us that would never give up despite the scoreline. The brain fog was starting to slowly lift, and subsequently so were the headshots.
We just go A.
From 10 to 12, we brought the scores back to overtime, and we just gave it our best effort. For our final game of the day to bring us back to Immortal, you don't know how badly I wanted this.
Pushing.
But when it came to voting, unfortunately someone voted to draw and that's that. But you see, I just couldn't leave it. I just couldn't leave it at that. I queue into another Lotus game, completely bottom frag, and my mental, I just didn't have it. I just didn't have it. my head's not in it. My head is not in it. I'm just gonna call the video here, get myself back into ketosis and get myself sorted. I don't know. I'm just going to edit now. I'm done. All right. Benchmarks time. Ascendant 374RR. We accomplished this with a 60% win rate and a 34% headshot. It would have been 40, but once we introduced the carbs, we dropped straight down to like 26%. In regards to our physical health, it is absolutely gains across the board. Most notably the 0.8 kilos of weight increase. We are so close to reaching an all-time high and reaching realms of weight that we've never seen before. The longest meditation session this week was 30 minutes. We gained an additional 1,729 subscribers. I welcome all of you, but because of this week's clothes shopping, we didn't get to put any money into savings. After ordering the mouse, the Zasko fund is left with $586.90. The next purchase will be a personal training session, so it's just about finding the right person to do that. And then of course this week we had our annual leave, so we got to play some extra games. As for lessons learned this week, I realized that cardio is the problem. Up until now I've avoided it like the plague in order to bulk. However, now my cardio is so bad that working for a few hours is enough to tire me. Up until now I've been blaming my diet, but it just simply doesn't make sense. There are plenty of athletes on the carnivore diet. In regards to Valorant, it's just about having perfect practice and not just playing for the sake of winning. We need to play for the sake of learning and developing ourselves. We need to do nothing that is of no use, and if playing more than 3 games has diminishing returns and we could be aim training, VOD reviewing, or practicing something in game, that's what we should be doing, not the diminished return games. Anyways, that's all for the week, guys. I'll see you all next Wednesday, 4 AM, same as always, and I hope you enjoyed this week's grind.